Good afternoon, Western Washington, and happy Friday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the forecast for the next few days, including some more chances of lowland snow and the extreme cold coming up next week. We'll take a look at that more in the weekend videos as well. And also, as we take a look at the satellite imagery, you see that our system moving in here, it's off the coast right now. Take a look at all the snow cover across the North Cascades, parts of eastern Washington, and then, of course, in the Cascades. There may be a little bit of snow cover still in western Washington, but it's kind of hard to see that. But it's nice to see some of that snow in parts of the mountains there. If you take a look at the radar here, you can see we do have some showers starting to approach the coast. This is in line with what the forecast models are showing about this time. So taking a look at the European model there, you can see precipitation moves onshore tonight. You can see it may be falling as snow or rain-snow mix for parts of the Puget Sound area through Saturday morning there, before it starts to push out of the area as into the mountains. More rain in the lowlands there Saturday evening there, and then we may have some areas of mix Saturday night into early Sunday morning. See, some of those showers could hang around Sunday morning there, and then those kind of start to diminish, and we will stay dry for a few days through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before this system starts to potentially move into the area Wednesday night into Thursday. This could be very interesting. We'll take a look at it at the end of the video here. Also want to take a look here at the European models predictions for snow accumulation. You can see really not much of anything. Potential for about a half inch to an inch from Portland up toward about Chehalis there, and then from Chehalis northward through the I-5 corridor all the way up toward the Canadian border. You can see a dusting to half an inch is possible. Maybe a couple inches there along the Hood Canal area there around Highway 101 and west of the Bremerton Airport, and then 2 to 6 inches in the Cascades. But the European model does not show really an impactful snow event overnight tonight into Saturday morning, midday there. Take a look at the NAM model. It does show something a little bit different here. So you can see it has some of that precipitation moving into the area. You can see snow bands, rain at lower elevations, but snow on the hilltops and away from the water. That continues through Friday night into Saturday morning. You can see potential snow bands across parts of the metro area there on the NAM model into, this is now 7 a.m. Saturday, and you can see that snow showers continue, rain-snow mix at times into Saturday night. Some showers hang around there on Sunday morning before pushing south and out of the area. So with all those showers, the NAM has a little bit of a different forecast for snow accumulations there, showing a couple bands of snow potentially around Everett, around Seattle, SeaTac area there, with a couple of inches of wet snow possible in them. But again, this is a very marginal forecast. If you do see snow accumulations like this, it's probably going to be on higher hills and away from the water. You can see the Hood Canal area showing up again as in an area of enhanced snow potential. And then you can see in the Cascades a few inches of snow possible, maybe up toward 6 inches or so around Snoqualmie Pass there. Now let's take a look at that extreme cold coming in. So you can see, looking at the national blend of models, minimum temperature for each day, you can see Saturday morning, this is why it's so marginal. Lows are only going to be in the upper 20s to low 30s for most of western Washington there, except Whatcom County in the mid-20s. Going to Sunday morning, almost exactly the same thing, except areas Everett northward in the mid-20s, Seattle southward there in the upper 20s. So you can see as we go into Monday, those lows drop considerably. Take a look at lows around Seattle there in the mid-20s, north of Seattle in the upper teens to low 20s, and south of Seattle in the low to mid-20s, outlying areas in the foothills across all of western Washington, possibly into the upper teens. You can see even along the coast, those lows go into the upper 20s. Tuesday is going to be even colder. Take a look at this. Downtown Seattle in the low 20s, areas Seattle southward in the mid to upper teens. You can see Seattle northward in the mid-teens there. Even places like Whidbey Island down toward about 20. The coast down to the low 20s. And take a look at the mountains there. Snoqualmie Pass showing up at 4 degrees. Places like Leavenworth and all that would be near 0 if these lows happen. Wednesday morning, almost exactly the same there. Teens outside of Seattle, low 20s in Seattle, and outlying areas potentially in the low teens, maybe upper single digits. You know, it's going to be very cold Tuesday night, or Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, even Thursday morning, still chilly, but back up to the mid-20s for most of the area. And then as we go toward Friday morning of next week, we start to warm up even further Saturday morning. And then by Sunday, we're getting up above freezing, and that's likely when this colder pattern is going to end. But it may still remain active, and we're going to have to watch that, especially for mountain snow. So now let's take a look here at that system that is coming in on Thursday there. Wednesday night into Thursday, we have the European model on the left and the GFS model on the right. You can see they both show this system, and they both show snow, or they either show snow or a really messy transition. European model shows a really messy rain, snow, freezing rain, sleet, all kind of happening at the same time across parts of the Willamette Valley. The GFS shows a similar thing, but a little bit more on the Washington coast. And then you can see the European model and the GFS bring snow into western Washington, and then freezing rain around Portland. The GFS changes it over to rain for some of the lowlands, but you can see the European model keeps it as snow, and this is going in to late Thursday night into Friday morning. You can see the system kind of spins offshore and then moves inland there, cycling almost between rain and snow in some of the forecasts for parts of western Washington. So there's a lot of uncertainty regarding this system and kind of what happens. The GFS keeps it snow a little bit longer. The European model has it mainly rain. And then the European model has a big plume of moisture coming in after that storm as we go into next Saturday. So there's a lot of uncertainty coming up over the next week or so, especially as we get toward the end of next week. The middle of next week is very likely to be just extremely cold there, like we are seeing here on the ensemble. This is the ensemble average, down to 17 degrees for SeaTac Airport on Wednesday morning. So that means there's a good potential that it could be colder than that. We could be looking at the low teens possibly in the coldest scenario. But then look how quickly we warm up into next week. So we have this cold period coming up, really cold, especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly Thursday of next week. Then we warm up into a more traditional pattern, active and wet and possibly windy with big mountain snow, and that obviously does bear watching for impacts as well. Take a look at Bellingham. It's going to be even colder there, not getting above freezing at all for a few days, potentially lows near 10 degrees for a couple days, and those lows in the teens for at least 5 days, maybe more. And you can see even down toward Olympia, you have lows in the low 20s. It'll probably get colder than this. Olympia is frequently colder than forecasted, and you can see those highs in the 30s, maybe only reaching 40 a couple of days there before we do start to warm up into the week following next week. So there's definitely a lot to watch over the next couple of weeks here with the extreme cold, the potential snow situation, and then getting warmer and more active way off into the extended forecast. So to stay tuned to all that, be sure to subscribe here to Western Washington Weather. You can click subscribe below. You can ring the notification bell there, turn that on, and click the like button and share these videos as well. You can also follow me on Blue Sky, on the Western Washington Weather Facebook group, and on Twitter. All the links to those are in the description. So thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.